Polenta, if made correctly, is the ultimate comfort food. I'm going to show you how to make my version using an instant polenta. Usually when you're making polenta from the traditional way, it takes about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, but this instant one will only take 10 minutes. The key to making polenta taste nice is giving the stock loads of flavour. So I've got 1.5 litres of water here that's coming up to the boil, and I'm going to add 3 stock pots. So this is going to make about 1.5 litres of stock. This stock pot has loads of flavour in it. You're going to get an intense chicken flavour. It also has no preservatives, no MSG or colours. So we'll add 3 to the water and you'll see it dissolves straight away. You also don't need to add any extra salt. So we're going to rein in the polenta, and you do want to slowly rein it in so we don't get any lumps, whisking at the same time. And it will look like quite a lot of liquid, but you'll see it completely transform and thicken up as it cooks for that 5 minutes. So we don't want it to be too thick and we don't want it to be too runny. So that's why you do want to keep an eye on it and keep whisking it until it forms almost like a ribbon shape in the actual liquid. So while this is cooking away, I'm going to poach an egg. I think it's a fantastic addition to this. The egg yolk, as you cut into it and mix it in with the polenta, is just so yummy. So my way of poaching is cracking the egg into a small bowl. Nice fresh eggs whenever you're poaching. I also always have a little white vinegar into some simmering water, a good glug of that vinegar. I'll form a little whirlpool with a spoon, and this just ensures that egg white wraps around that yolk to form the perfect teardrop. So in with the egg, look at that. And already you can see that it's encasing that egg yolk. So that's going to cook for about 3 minutes, and that's just enough time to finish cooking off this polenta. You know your polenta is ready when you see all these little bubbles form on the surface. When that happens, we can turn it to a very low temperature. And I also want to take this egg out of the water. Ideally, you want that egg to be soft and runny in the centre. So just have a little feel of it. If it just gently bounces back, not too firm, you know it's ready. I'll place this onto some paper towel to drain off. And to finish off the polenta is never complete without a good knob of butter. So I'm going to add about 10 to 15 grams of butter. We'll just cut that straight in there and just let it gently melt, along with some cheese. You could just use some cheddar if you like, but I love the sharpness of Parmesan. So a few tablespoons of grated Parmesan. And because polenta is corn, I wanted to keep with that corn theme. I'm going to add some fresh corn kernels. These have just been charred under the grill. You can also do it on a grill pan. And the best way to take these corn kernels off is just to cut it straight down, and now you've got a grip. And then we'll cut the other kernels off. It's much easier to do it this way as opposed to from top to bottom. If you do it from top to bottom, they'll just go absolutely everywhere. So best to do it like this, so you've got much more control and you're taking all of those kernels off. So I'm just going to use 1 for this. I'm going to add majority of it, and the rest I'm going to use as the garnish. So we'll just stir that in. And this is my favourite part of polenta, just watching that cheese and the butter melt into that glossy, silky polenta. That is the perfect consistency right there. So let's plate this up, a few generous spoonfuls into a bowl. See how that just is cascading and falling down? That's exactly what we're after, the perfect consistency. Now it's quite filling, so you only need a couple of these spoonfuls. We'll top it with a little egg, just let it sit in the middle. Top it with some nuts. Now I'm using some walnuts. I love the contrast in texture, so this is going to be soft and gooey, crunchy from the walnuts. We'll just break them over the top, and some fresh herbs to finish it off. I've got a combination of dill, a few sprigs, some parsley, break that over the top, and then some chives. And I'm just going to use the little tips of the chives just to go over the top. If you're a bit of a cheese lover like me, why not add a small sprinkling of cheese over the top? And then finally, that reserved corn, we'll just sprinkle that over the top. And I've got to dig into this. I want to taste that polenta and the gooey egg. We're going to break that. Oh, yes. Mix that in. And it's soft. It's really like a hug in a bowl. I love this type of food, particularly in winter. So good. Give it a go.